A fun matchup tonight in the Central Division of the USL Championships Eastern Conference as Lou City gets set to take on Atlanta United 2. Cameron Lancaster just 2 goals away for 60 for his remarkable career, trying to slow down Atlanta United 2's Aiden McFadden, who's trying to get their team back on track. Lou City and Atlanta United 2, the kickoff is next. From the Lynn Family Stadium in beautiful Louisville, Kentucky. Tonight's matchup presented by Chemi, Lou City and Atlanta United 2 in the Central Division of the Eastern Conference. Sean St. Jacques alongside former Vancouver Whitecaps and Indy 11 coach Martin Rennie. We're excited to bring you this one. Coach, we start by looking at the Central Division standings coming into tonight.
Yeah, Lou City is sitting at the top of the table with a chance to extend their lead tonight. Birmingham Legion rather, not playing tonight, so an opportunity for Louisville to move forward.
Atlanta United 2 just on the outside looking in at the moment of the playoffs. Lou City, though, got back to their normal winning ways as they've been doing of late. 3-1 win over OKC on Wednesday.
Yeah, excellent goal there from Sharpie, and a dominant win, three goals ahead, and then they lose one late. But again, Gomez excellent, playing forward passes, getting balls in the box, and coming up big with the third goal. Corbin Bowen not playing tonight, but such a key player.
Yeah, Lou City in a good run of form coming in. Commonwealth Credit Union has been bettering lives in the communities they serve for 70 years. To learn more, visit WeSeeYouDifferently.com. Our Commonwealth Credit Union player to watch is Chris Hubbard, great goalkeeper for Lou City this season. They're so deep at every position. He's been phenomenal. Atlanta United 2, they haven't won since June 6th when they beat none other than Lou City by a 0-0.
Yeah, and goal there from McFadden. He burst on the scene, really scored 5 goals in 4 games. Hasn't been on the score sheet since that time, but certainly a player to watch. A guy with great running power, seems to be able to bring energy to the whole game and can play a couple positions, and has started his career well in Atlanta too.
Well, let's look at both starting lineups brought to you by Hometown Pizza. We start with Lou City, and interim coach Danny Cruz has made quite a few changes.
Yeah, he's rotated the team a little bit. Obviously, just 2 days recovery from that OKC game, so it's required to rest a few of the legs there. A couple different ways they could go about this in terms of Matt Soso could potentially be in midfield. McCabe could play wide, Mclaughlin on the right. We'll see once the game gets going, but generally they'll be on the ball, they'll be rotating, they'll be creating chances, and they'll be high pressing and not letting Atlanta out of their half if they can do what they want.
Still a really deep lineup despite all of those changes. Jack Collison, his lineup, he beat Louisville City in his first game in charge when he took over back on June 6th.
Yeah, it was a great start for him. Unfortunately, not won a game since then. They've had a long run of home games, but they'll be looking to bounce back with another win against the same team that they've already beaten this season. So a couple changes there for them as well. Cobb coming in, I believe he's only 15 years old. I think it's his debut tonight, so it'll be really interesting to see him, and amazing to be playing at this level at that age.
Should be a really fun matchup with a lot of storylines tonight in Louisville, Kentucky. Lou City are where they want to be. They're at the top of the Central Division. Atlanta United 2 trying to get back in the playoff picture. It's Lou City, it's Atlanta United 2, and the kickoff is next.
With the eyes of the world upon you, you have to perform. You have to be quicker. You have to be more powerful. You have to be better. It's in the DNA of every Olympic and Paralympic athlete and in every new Toyota. We are driven to be the best. This 4th of July weekend, get $1,000 customer cash on any new 21 Corolla, or $1,000 on Camry, or lease Camry for just $229 a month, and drive home a winner. Toyota, let's go places.
After being cooped up all spring, it's time to get outside and enjoy the summer of now. With amazing rates, Adventure Loans from Commonwealth Credit Union let you hit the road, or no road at all, with UTVs, ATVs, and motorcycles, and our recreational loans for boats, motorhomes, and campers. This year, make the most of every day and stay cool for the summer with Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Our sole focus is to make sure that we are in school in person 5 days a week, every single day of this school year.
JCPS Superintendent Marty Polio lays down his guidelines for what students and staff could expect this fall.
Right now, we have to follow the guidelines of the Centers for Disease Control. They said schools should implement mask wearing for those that are not vaccinated. Our core principle is safety and health.
Tough day at the salt mine.
I worked up a bit of a sweat.
Me too.
Cheer up with WBKI's Happy Hour. With 6 o'clock Last Man Standing, followed by 7 o'clock Modern Family.
And then Gloria says, where are my shoes? I cannot go to the club without my shoes. Your stupid doggy chose my shoes.
And 7:30 Big Bang Theory.
Do this, just give me a moment.
Well shaken, never dry. Mixed with big laughs. That's WBKI's Happy Hour.
Sean St. Jacques, Martin Rennie back here with you. Moments away from the start of this one between Louisville City and Atlanta United 2. A big matchup tonight in the Central Division of the USL Championships Eastern Conference. Danny Cruz, Jack Collison exchanging pleasantries before this one at Lynn Family Stadium. Both teams obviously slightly different directions. Going to be using the youngsters a little bit tonight. Lou City, though, obviously starting to get into the ascendancy where we expect them to be at the top of the Central Division table, Coach. While Atlanta United 2, through changes, have had to, obviously with a new coach as well since June 6th, a lot to deal with. They're trying to get back on track. They're still in the mix for a playoff berth, obviously with a long way to go in the season. Yeah, really looking forward to this one. I think it'll be quite an open game. Both teams like to play, both teams like to get on the ball. A couple of young players playing for both teams as well. Very young, Cobb only 15, Winder I believe only 16. We've seen recently with Gomez being a player that's come through the ranks for Lou City, and you know, a lot of speculation about him moving on to La Liga and to a high level in Europe. So really fantastic to see these young players playing on such a great stage and such a fantastic venue. Good crowd on hand tonight as Gerald Flores, our center referee, blows his whistle, and we're underway from Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Lou City in their iconic home purples with the white sleeves against Atlanta United 2's slick road kits with the white along with the gold trim. Yeah, Lou City looking to get off to a quick start. They've just played a game a couple days ago, their third game this week. So they're looking to get the energy high right from the beginning. And, you know, they often start well. So Atlanta United 2 need to make sure they're on their toes here. Lou City's first opportunity as it falls to Novo in net as we take a look at the Kentucky Lottery keys to the game. Obviously, Lou City, they want to get off to a good start, Coach. Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, getting that energy levels high, and noticing Matt Soso playing on the right as we thought on the graphics, so we're pretty accurate on that. McCabe being there in that midfield. Del Piccolo rested in midweek, comes back in tonight. He's a really key player for Lou City and brings a lot to the team. Great leadership, but so many other intangibles that don't always go noticed by everyone, but I think by coaches and by teammates and opposing players, they really value this guy a lot. Atlanta United too, we were talking off the air before the start of this one, Coach. They obviously beat Lou City the last time they met, but when they last played in Louisville, Atlanta United too could have gotten a better result if they just taken their chances. Yeah, I think that is a key to tonight's game as well. They did have a number of chances in that game, and speaking to Danny Cruz earlier this week, he was saying the same thing, that they need to be careful in transition. So what he's really talking about is when Louisville have the ball, they obviously open up, they rotate, and they need to make sure they don't lose the ball, because that's when they're possibly most vulnerable. And that's where I think Atlanta could perhaps take advantage if they can quickly break forward. And if they get chances, of course, it's going to be important that they're clinical with those. Danny Cruz, when we talked to him earlier this week, made a point to say that we cannot give the ball away in bad areas. So we're going to have a lot of possession. That's how we're going to have to play against Atlanta United 2 and other teams that could potentially sit back against us. We're going to have to make sure that we make the smart decisions. And to be fair, for the most part this season, look at their goal tally, and they've made a lot of good decisions at times this season, but we've seen times where goals have happened, and he said a lot of those come from those transition mistakes and giving the ball away in bad areas. Yeah, exactly. Lou City like to get on the ball, and they rotate a lot in midfield, and that means that they're difficult to pick up, so it's hard for the opposing team.
But it does also mean that sometimes players are in unusual positions if the ball does get turned over, and that balance has to be right. So when you're on the ball, you need a few players thinking about what happens if we lose the ball. And generally when Lou City are in this situation where they're defending in a deeper block, they tend to defend well. They don't seem to lose too many goals from these types of situations. It's just those transitions that they'll want to be continuing to develop on and improve upon.
Saw McFadden get a touch there earlier for Atlanta United too. And Noah Cobb as well, you mentioned it, Coach. He's just 15 years old. He's not going to be 15 for much longer. He turns 16 in just 3 days' time on July 20th. So he's enjoying the last few days of year 15. Still young regardless.
Yeah, very young. And you know, Atlanta United too have used this team really well to develop a lot of young players. I think in their last Major League Soccer game that they played just a few weeks or a week or so ago against Nashville, there was 6 players that had played in this second team, and that's really a great feather in the cap of those who've been involved in the development of these players, including Conway, who actually scored the equalising goal in that game. So a number of guys that have played in this Atlanta United 2 team have gone on to do really well and play in the first team.
Tonight's portion of the game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. See a foul there for Atlanta United 2. They'll have a chance to take a little bit of a breath. Again, just a reminder, tonight's keys to the game brought to you by the Kentucky Lottery.
Yeah, a lot of times people don't realize how much it takes out of you when a team is playing their 3rd game in a week while the other team is rested all week waiting for that game, and that's really a big part of this game. I think that it's a great leveler when this happens, and it's a big opportunity for Atlanta United too, because of the fact that they should have a little bit more energy. Obviously Lou City rotating a little bit to try and keep the energy high, but it's not easy to do that. It's definitely a disadvantage.
There's McFadden for Atlanta United 2. Talked about it earlier in the open. 5 goals for Aiden McFadden, but they all came in a pretty short space of time. When Atlanta United 2 were on a really good run at the beginning of the season, they beat Tulsa at home by 5-0 earlier in the year. Obviously beat Lou City as well. They could be in behind here as well. And good backtracking there needed to be from Sean Tosh. The experienced center back wins a free kick with Mackie Jope trailing just behind him.
Yeah, Sean Tosh, I don't know if people realize it, but he's extremely quick. He's very good for Lou City back there. This one looked like it could have been offside, but maybe it was well enough timed. Tosh is there covering in behind. So yeah, interesting to see as well, because I think Winder probably playing in that centre-back position with Sharpie on the left-back position. So it'll be interesting just to see how that partnership goes. Tosh obviously very experienced, can communicate well, can organise well, but still very difficult to have such a young centre-back in that position. But obviously a talented player and a good chance for him to show what he can do.
Hubbard's pass in there was a little dangerous, but Wes Sharpie was able to deal with it. Now Lou City could be on the attack here. Crucial challenge in behind. Will stay with the home side as it was Bryce Washington on the cover. So you see Niall McCabe there. He was lurking for Lou City. A little bit of a nick on the way through. Quick throw in down this near sideline here. Del Piccolo able to leave it here. Masoso puts in a good ball. Chance for McCabe. Niall McCabe, still a chance at the back post as it was dragged wide. And in the end, it's out harmlessly for a goal kick, and McCabe's miss hit nearly led to the opening goal.
But see, that all comes from Del Piccolo. It looked like it was a throw-in for Atlanta. Del Piccolo claims for the ball, gets the throw-in, takes off with that diagonal run behind, gets the ball, creates a chance. and just off there. McLaughlin stretching, but not quite getting on the end of it.
Saw it on the West Bonco replay. A little bit for Novo to worry about in goal for Atlanta United too. They're let off the hook. Now they're going to try to play this out of the back.
Yeah, interesting. Novo very comfortable with the ball at his feet. And instead of the goalkeeper playing the ball wide to his centre-backs, the centre-backs playing the ball centrally to him. A tactic that we saw from Italy in the Euros quite often, but not something that I've seen too much in the USL, so something to keep an eye on. Blue City will be pressing it hard anyway, but nice to see Atlanta doing the same. Hubbard now a couple times being put under pressure, ball gone out of play, so that's a good sign from Atlanta United too.
Thrown into Robbie Mertz, formerly of Pittsburgh Riverhounds a season ago under Bob Lilly. Novo.
Robbie Mertz, sorry, coached against him a number of times. Very good player, covers a lot of ground, creates chances, can score goals. Hasn't taken off totally yet with Atlanta, but I believe he's got the ability to do that, and he certainly was a key player for Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
He's just kind of been getting into the lineup these last few weeks, dealing with, I believe, an injury earlier this season, Robbie Mertz. Louis City crowd appreciates the pressing. It's out for an Atlanta United 2 throw with Niall McCabe leading the charge.
Yeah, interesting to see Atlanta United 2 playing the ball out of the back, sticking with their principles even though they're under pressure, away from home. Field's going to be nice and wet and slick in the beginning stages of the game, so the ball's moving very quickly. Its problem with that though is you give the ball away near your goal and there's not much margin for error.
Atlanta United 2 just able to get out of that situation after a miscue. As Wiley has it now for the roadside on the near side. Atlanta United 2, we mentioned it in the top. Last win was June 6th at home against Louis City by 1-0. Aidan McFadden scored the winning goal in the match. 6 games since, no wins, 3 draws, and 3 defeats, and 1 win overall in their last 9 games. Lost by 1-0 against Sporting Kansas City 2 last time out. Louis City 3-1 winners over OKC Energy here midweek. And overall at home this season, this is game number 9, 8 previous, 5 wins, 2 draws, and just the 1 defeat. All over the top here, opportunity for Lancaster, who does chip the goalkeeper. Wouldn't have counted anyway, as he's offside.
Yeah, but great play from Winder. I mean, he's broken out of the back there, all the way through, found a great ball over the top. Just off in terms of the timing, but really very, very close. Closer than it first looked. But excellent play from Winder, and shows just some of the quality that he has and the reasons why he's playing in the first team at such a young age.
Lancaster, 58 career goals. He's just 2 away from the 60 mark. So a brace tonight would do it.
Yeah, consistent goal scorer. Prolific season a couple of years ago, but just consistently scores goals. Whenever he's out there, his return is very, very good, and just an all-round excellent striker. Comes alive in the box, excellent movement. Ball falls to him so often, and it's just that instinct which very hard to teach, very hard to coach, and some players have got it, and Lancaster is one of them.
Foul there, I believe, was assessed to Noah Cobb. Sean Tosh switches sides for Louis City. Gibson, with Mertz lurking, Niall McCabe switches sides to Akil Watts. All-time series history, Atlanta United 2's win at home against Louis City earlier this year was their first and only win against Louis City in their previous 7 meetings. Louis City have won 5, drawn 1, and lost that one earlier this season.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, that was Jack Collister's first game as the head coach. Got off to a winning start. not been able to see a win since then. We'll be looking for one tonight.
His team defends this cross in. Crucial challenge, I think, at the back post. And a free kick alleviates the pressure as Lou City continue to knock on the door in the early stages.
Foot whipping it into the danger area. Matsoso can't quite get on it, but fair play to Wiley covering round the back there. Did a great job. Another young player. I believe from all of the Atlanta United Academy players, he's played more than any of them. So a great prospect for the club and did a great job there.
Lou City were trying to play that quickly. A free kick will slow them down.
Yeah, both teams trying to get pressure on the ball high up the field. That's going to leave some space behind. We've seen it already twice where the ball's been played in behind, one from each team. Not quite resulted in a goal, but just a little bit off. One offside, one resulted in a free kick. But that's going to be, look how high the line is for both teams really, but at the moment for Atlanta United too. And this is where they've got to watch for the runs and the movement that go behind. Lancaster very good at that.
Lancaster with a back heel. Cross coming in, Masoso wasn't expecting it to go over his head. And Robbie Mertz tries to bring it away for Atlanta United too. Still not dealt with. Watts picks it back up. Lancaster now. Plays it out wide for McLaughlin. Lou City will restart. Wiley, just to finish your point, Coach, 782 minutes. That leads, like you said, the Academy boys this season in Atlanta United 2 minutes. That's quite a bit. Shows you the promise that they see in him as McCabe lofts it in. Masoso had the right run in mind. The ball was too close to Novo in goal.
Yeah, the challenge Atlanta United 2 are having at the moment is they're playing and playing and playing, and it gives energy to Lou City. Look how close they are. This one goes over the top.
Ooh, the bounce was there. Mackie Joe, could have been in there if he dealt with that a little bit better, but he commits the foul. Actually was offside as well.
Yeah, but just changing it up sometimes with the ball over the top can create chances. Like I say, both teams with a very high back line.
I should say the assistant's flag went up. Didn't quite get a look at whether it was for a foul on the push or offside. Regardless, Atlanta United 2 miss out on an opportunity, and they do get a goal kick on the other end.
Yeah, from what I could see, I don't think it was offside. I think it was more just the foul there. But if Job had been a bit more patient, Winder was in a difficult spot facing his own goal, but ball bouncing around. So maybe a little bit rash there from Job.
Oh, over the top it goes off the throw, and McCabe could be in for Lou City here. Good ball across for Lancaster. And I believe it was McFadden who had a crucial touch on it. Atlanta United 2 keep it alive. Wiley trying to find Mertz. And it's a Lou City throw.
Yeah, McCabe creating the chance there, that diagonal run behind. After Corbin Bowen, I think he's the next highest on chances created.
Lou City go again here. Atlanta United 2 bending, but trying to avoid breaking at the moment. Tosh. The ball over the top. The idea was right. Lancaster appreciates it. Novo gobbles it up.
Yeah, sometimes as well the danger is when there's so much space behind, you go just a little bit too direct, and those balls then are a little bit easier to defend. Okay, looking for Lancaster there. Lancaster found a good position in the box, but again, well defended.
Saw a brief look there at Aiden McFadden. It's Atlanta United 2. Kind of batten down the hatches at the back at the moment. Lou City try to pass their way through them again. This is Mertz. Del Piccolo nearly got possession back for Atlanta United too. Do well on this near side now. Wiley on the overlapping run. McCabe with a good challenge in behind, backtracking. Atlanta United 2 have a throw on the near side.
Yeah, good recovery work there from McCabe. He's in one box, creating a chance. He's back towards his own box, putting out a chance for Atlanta United too. And I think that's epitomizes not only him, but just the general play you see from Lou City. They're one of those teams that can play well, create chances, play good soccer, but also they can work so hard and they can defend well and put in the hard yards that you have to do to be a good team.
It was Fortune trying to maneuver his way through, wins a free kick. Feo had it for a moment. Wiley will take this. So Atlanta United 2 try to create something potentially from a set piece, although it's pretty far outside of the penalty area. And Aiden McFadden looks like he will help out with this, possibly take it.
Difficult angle this one. As the ball's about to be played, look for Lou City just to drop into a zone and then defend the ball from there.
It will be McFadden. Lofts the ball, and it's a good ball. Headed out only as far as Mertz for a moment. Now Masoso tries to bring it away for Lou City. Thinks better of it.
Good pressing.
Atlanta United 2 trying to win it back. Fortune on the chase. Watts with good composure. And Lou City are able to avoid any further attacks, at least for now. Gibson now.
A couple big misses for Lou City tonight. Brian Omby, Gomez, Corbin Bone. Very, very key players. Create a lot of chances. Omby's been really on a good hot streak recently for assists.
Good run by Watts. Masoso now on the give and go with McCabe. At least that was the idea. And no chance for anybody else to get on the end of it.
But Lou City will have to do it without them tonight. But Atlanta United 2, it's 20 minutes in, all square. Very important for them. Throughout the season, if they've lost the first goal, they've not won any of those games when they've lost the first goal. So it's really important that they start the game well, and I think they have. They've not really given up any clear chances, not really created anything just yet. But as the game goes on, their energy levels could be a key factor and should be something that should give them a bit of an advantage as the game progresses.
This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. So far, some chances for Lou City in the final third as the ball was handled by, I believe, Tyler Gibson there. And it was. Free kick for Atlanta United 2.
Gibson's a guy who won't get tired, though. I don't think I've had really any players any fitter than him. The distances he covers in consistent game after game after game is amazing. His running and fitness abilities, fantastic.
Especially when you consider, again, Lou City, Atlanta United 2, multiple teams in the USL Championship, just about everybody really, have to make changes as the season goes on. When you've got somebody like that, that has got to be a luxury for a team that's already pretty darn deep in Louisville City. Miscommunication there between Wiley and McFadden. McFadden stays to take this. Flips it in towards Gibson, who heads it out only as far as Aiden McFadden.
Yeah, I think what they were looking to do there, Sean, is when it's those types of free kick, Lou City drop quickly. So they were trying to maybe get them to drop and then create a chance from the second ball. So I think it's probably something they've worked on. But as they made the little dummy run, Lou City didn't really move too much or fall for it. So then they had to start again, I think.
It was Benitez who took a hack at it from outside of the penalty area. It was easily blocked out of there. Now some pressing again from Lou City. It could pay off for them here. It's a lovely sliding challenge. McCabe, big chance for Lou City. Oh, and he's blown it over the top.
And that's what I've been talking about in the first 20 minutes, is when you overplay in those situations. Lou City are there, they're on top of you. That's what they're looking for. They want you to play out, they want you to try things, they want you to make mistakes like this, win the ball, first pass forward, and McCabe would probably like to have that one back, but he's got himself in a good position, breaking out of midfield, but just couldn't keep that one down.
The other thing to consider is that he did have Lancaster with him, but Lancaster might have been in an offside position. It would have been a little bit risky to give it to him, at least right away. But the shot was there, and McCabe just couldn't quite hit the target.
Yeah, but with Cameron Lancaster, like any good striker, he wants the ball in that position. He wants to get a pass there, and he would, I'm sure, believe he would finish it off. It just, the angle wasn't maybe quite right for that one there. It happened quickly, but it's an important area for Atlanta United too. If they're going to build out, they've got to do it well. They can't give the ball away in those situations. And as comfortable as Novo looks on the ball, he's got to remember that he's passing to someone who might not be as comfortable as him, and maybe under more pressure than him. So they've got to be careful with that.
Masoso backtracking, fouls Robbie Mertz.
In my experience at Lynn Family Stadium was that the field is very quick. It's a great field, but it plays very quickly. So sometimes building out, you can make mistakes that you wouldn't normally make, and you should really take that into account as you're looking to build out, especially early in the game. You'll see there's some small little water patches where the sprinkler system is, and the field does get really wet before the game and at halftime, so you've got to really be careful with your passing, and if you play it too far ahead of someone, it tends to skip away from them.
Atlantic United too had a decent opportunity there. It was a good run initially by Matias Benitez, ended up breaking down. Now Mclaughlin for Lou City. Does really well, gets to the byline, puts in a good cross, a little too short in the end as it was headed. Oh, not a great header on the second try. McCabe did everything he could to keep it alive, and it didn't fall for another player in a purple shirt as Wiley comes out with it.
Yeah, creating chances from crosses is a very key part of the Lou City Armory. They create a lot of goals and a lot of chances from crosses. McLaughlin's done well on a couple of occasions already tonight. On that one there, it looked like he was going to cross on his right foot, but dropped the shoulder, pulled the ball to his left-hand side and got the ball into the box. Just wasn't able to get a connection on it for the final chance within the area there.
Lancaster switches the fields again for Jimmy McLaughlin here. McFadden there on the defensive work. And Atlanta United to win a throw as McLaughlin couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, should be a good battle between those two. Both very energetic, dynamic players. Lots of energy.
Ooh, a poor touch. It was nearly given away again by Atlanta United too. I think it was Fortune. Didn't quite get enough on it. Atlanta United too are in a decent spot to get this away, at least for the moment. Wiley, though, couldn't get to it, and Lou City win a throw. That's great work from Watts.
And you see Danny Cruz on the sideline there, bringing almost as much energy as his team. Moving to get the ball back in play quickly. And probably not too happy with that there. Looked like it could have been a free kick. Bard's in the back.
Danny Cruz, like you said, was not thrilled with the decision or lack thereof from the referees. My Spanko replay shows. Well, Wiley ends up shielding it away and ends up getting a goal kick out of it. Danny Cruz disagrees.
Yeah, that to me is not really a shoulder challenge because both players aren't really going into it at the same time. Matsoso's in front there of Wiley. Wiley shows his strength and his power, but lucky not to give away a free kick there. Wiley looks like some athlete though, doesn't he? I mean, for a young guy coming up from the academy, he looks powerful. He's got all the tools.
Although a couple of throw-ins on his side of the field, that near side of that back line, they fell asleep a couple of times, nearly let Lou City in off of a couple of throw-in opportunities. And you can't be offside on a throw, and Lou City nearly took advantage of that twice. Now Lancaster surrounded by white shirts. It's going to stay with Lou City, it looks like, as Lancaster says finally.
Yeah, Lou City create a lot of chances from the midfielder running diagonally behind the fullback. So it might look like it's the fullback's positioning or that they're at fault, but really it's the midfielders have to track those runs. It's a very hard run to track. It's a very dangerous run, and the timing of it, if you get it right, and that pass behind the back line can create a lot of chances. So I think that's an area where Lou City are very strong. They do that on a regular basis, and it's very hard for teams to track that run and that movement.
Niall McCabe lines up his set piece for Lou City. Collison, a good ball towards the back post. Tosh got a decent touch on it with his head, but couldn't put it on target. He has scored with his head last season at St. Louis FC. Nearly put that one on target.
Yeah, more of a driven ball that time to the back post area. Del Piccolo and Tosh both very good in the air. And Lou City generally very good on set plays, do get goals from set plays. We saw that in midweek with Sharpie's header from Gomez corner. So you've got to be on your toes with any set plays. But so far the game's, I would say, going Lou City's way. If you look again, they're very high up the field. Even their central midfielders pressing the centre back of Atlanta United 2. Atlanta United 2 then are really forced into long balls.
This is Mertz. There's a player down for Atlanta United 2 in the build-up. Mertz on the overlap. Stanley towards the byline. Defensive work there from Watts. Waiting for the assistant referee's decision. It's going to be a corner for Atlanta United 2.
Yep, I think that was the right decision from the angle I had on it. No complaint from Watts, so Atlanta United get the opportunity from the corner kick here.
Mentioned it in the build-up, and it's actually Mackie Jope who was down away from the play. Still slow to get up here for Atlanta United 2.
And he's had a couple of injury problems this season, so we'll be hoping he can shake that one off. It looks like just the kind of knock where you can play through it, hopefully.
Hasn't scored yet this season, Mackie Jope. And offside flag goes up on the return pass.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking there. Blue City pushed up nice and quickly, but it was always likely that was going to be offside when you play back to the taker there, from that angle at least.
Another missed opportunity from a set piece for Atlanta United 2, and Chris Hubbard and company can build again.
Must be great for Hubbard though, coming from Louisville, I believe, and you know, certainly no Lynn Family Stadium when he was a youngster, but then gets to see the team, then gets to be a part of the team now, starting for the team in his hometown. That's, I'm sure, a great thrill for him.
That'd be special for the fans as well. Obviously, you would get attached as fans to different players, and everyone sometimes has their different favorites, but something about the local lads, anywhere really on Planet Football, that sometimes get the best attention because it's one of their own in a way. Absolutely. Blue City were nearly able to wriggle their way through there. They'll restart things with Tosh at the back, and Mackie Jope went down again. He's able to continue for now. We'll keep an eye on him as the game progresses. This is Watts. McCabe after Mertz missed on a sliding challenge, and McCabe ends up playing catch with Novo.
Let's see how high Lou City are, ready to press. And in this occasion, Novo goes over the press.
McFadden didn't win the header, but won the throw. It's helped on by Cobb. Benitez. And a free kick for Atlanta United 2.
So that's a good example there where you've got a team, Atlanta United 2, that like to play out, but the press is really high and they play over the press. They win the second ball, and now they're in the Louisville City's half. So sometimes even teams like, I think of Manchester City, for example, they love playing out of the back, but if the pressure's really, really high, they often go over the press and quickly move to win the second ball and then start playing from there. So you've got to mix it up sometimes, especially if your opponent's really high in the pressure. And then if they drop off, you can get playing a little bit more easily in your own area.
Fortune, last man back for Atlanta United 2. Wiley, first time ball in. It wasn't a bad effort. It's out for a throw.
Fortune, another academy player. His brother Dre playing for Trinidad and Tobago in the Gold Cup. Player for Memphis 901.
Great to see a lot of USL Championship representation at the Gold Cup. That's got to be one of the highlights. Obviously, you'd love to see them play in the league, but great to see that international experience from the league being shown on one of the biggest stages.
Absolutely, and the
Ooh, meanwhile, wonderful footwork on that far side by Sharpie. Mclaughlin getting in on the act as well. Now McCabe, this is really well done by Lou City here. What can they make of it? And McCabe just lost it at the vital moment, but that was, again, lovely build-up from the home side.
Yeah, I just cut away there because I thought they might get a chance out of it. But
eye-catching stuff.
Going back to the Fortune brothers, I know their dad, Andre, shout out to him. He's actually a fantastic coach. He coached them a lot himself, and I was around lots of times while he coached them and got them great playing opportunities. Must be really proud to see them both playing professional soccer now. Very young, very talented. Who knows what they can go on to do, but it's I'm sure great to see his two sons out there playing in a game that he absolutely loves.
And they say the sons of coaches are normally great when it comes to the extra things, the intangibles as well. See, Masoso won it back in a pretty dangerous area. Wiley fouled him and will be taken by the referee. That's a yellow card.
Yeah, you look at probably the best US player at the moment, maybe one of the best or the best ever, Pulisic. I believe his dad was a coach, or I know he was a coach because he was even a Pittsburgh Riverhounds assistant coach a couple of years ago, but I'm sure he coached Christian a lot as well. So I'm sure there's a lot of dads out there, moms as well, who are coaches who've invested a lot in their kids throughout the years, for sure.
Referee has shown a vivify yellow card to Caleb Wiley, Atlanta United 2. Leads to this free kick for Niall McCabe to take towards the back post. Header is on again for Sean Tosh, of all people. A couple of his teammates were asking it to be central. Tosh had his eyes light up going for goal and couldn't hit the target.
Yeah, I'm smiling because one of the ones who was on him the most was Winder, 16-year-old, having a go at Tosh a little bit, or at least asking for that ball back across. Gave him the thumbs up, but shows confidence from the youngster. And if the ball had managed to come square back across, it would have been a good chance there. But Tosh getting on the end of a couple of balls at the back post now, so something that Atlanta United 2 will have to watch out for.
It was in the area of Del Piccolo, didn't get to him. Atlanta United 2 deal again with the pressure. Mclaughlin magged on the way through. Now McFadden assessing his options, trying to find Wiley as he switches fields and couldn't do so.
Yeah, not a bad idea, because when the pressure's on one side, there's usually a bit of space on the other. But Wiley was maybe just a little bit too narrow for that, and not executed quite in the way McFadden would have liked to.
Now the ball threaded through in the area of Lancaster. Bryce Washington sweeps it away for a Lou City throw. Lancaster with some nifty footwork, does well to switch fields here. Mclaughlin with a lovely touch. Mclaughlin keeps on going, and he couldn't quite find Lancaster. It was nearly an extended give and go there, and now Atlanta United 2 with Stanley are off to the races. Job back to Stanley. This is where Atlanta United 2 could create opportunities. Robbie Mertz now with it. Has Fortune behind him. Mertz lofts it towards the back post. Centering past McFadden, and Fortune wasn't able to corral it on the other end.
End-to-end stuff there. Mclaughlin with a great touch in the box. Unfortunate not to get the finish. And suddenly we're up the other end, and a chance for Atlanta United 2 on the other end. So it's like a quick break from side to side. We knew that transitions would be important in this game, and that was a good example of it. But Atlanta United unable to take advantage of it.
Boy, what a fun sequence that was. Kentenny Cruz told us that's going to be a big factor in this game. Transition for us, attacking and also defending as well. Got a great dose of it there from both sides. Fortune. Laying it over the top, looking for McFadden. McFadden will run onto this. Puts in a good first-time ball. It was nearly able to fall for Wiley, but Watts was there. And now McCabe controls.
Yep, last 10 minutes of the half. It'll be interesting to just see how the energy levels are from Lou City. Again, coming off that short rest game 2 days ago, and a game obviously a few days before that, third game in a week. And then again, you'll be able to judge that again in the last 20 minutes of the game. But last 10 minutes of the half, sometimes players can get a little bit more tired, so Atlanta United 2 will be looking to try and take advantage of that if they can.
McCabe. Watts trying to make a run in behind. He does. Akil Watts, and the ball just about too close to the goalkeeper, and Novo slides in to get it.
Yeah, Novo did really well there. Robbie Mertz getting split with the pass. Robbie would like to just be slightly inside to take away that split pass. It's a great pass from McCabe. Excellent run from Akil Watts. But Novo timed it very well, athletic and aggressive off his line.
Tosh to reset for Lou City. And back to McFadden, who assesses his options, trying to find a run forward. He does. It's a really good touch by Matias Benitez on the near side. Benitez keeps on going. When Benitez nearly got past Sean Tosh, that would have been a magnificent run. Tosh tried to scoop it forward, and he'll have a chance to reset it.
Okay, and going back to it, Sean Tosh just such a key player for Lou City. You know, very experienced, very good on the ball. I think he's got the most passes in the whole of the USL Championship. Starts a lot of attacks, is on the ball a lot, but also a very, very good defender, and yeah, someone that I think sometimes goes a little bit unnoticed because of all the talent that Lou City have, but a very important player.
Still 6 minutes left in the first half as Lou City try again to poke it over the top, and Atlanta United 2, well, they almost dealt with it, and ends up being a pass out for a corner. See, they're a vivified corner coming up here for Lou City. I was going to say that Lou City, in their last 4 games, not including the OKC game, had conceded 7 first-half goals over the last 4. They're almost through a second straight first half without one conceded. There's still a little bit of time left, but they're looking to get the lead at the moment as Niall McCabe lines this up. 5 minutes to go in the first half at Lynn Family Stadium. In it comes, the header floated just outside of the penalty area for Masoso to run onto. Way back for Gibson to re-enter it into the penalty area. Good centering header. Lancaster's in there. Oh, what a save by Novo. Right on the doorstep. And he denies Cameron Lancaster at point blank range.
I was thinking that Novo should really have been coming off his line to take that ball. Didn't manage to do it. I think Lancaster maybe got a head knock there, and that'll be a concern because he has had some concussion problems this season. Hasn't had a lot of minutes.
Another look, and Lancaster there was actually pushed from behind, and it might be in the knee of Novo, right into his head. Oh,
great save from Novo. Great
it really
reaction.
was. Danny
Looked
Cruz,
like almost a push in the back on Lancaster,
and that's what he was exactly what he was asking for.
but they'll be very cautious here if it is a head knock.
And I think, and I saw briefly the right hand of Cameron Lancaster. I think there might have been a little bit of blood on there as well. Well, you hate to see it. Like you said, Coach, 4 games already this season that Cameron Lancaster, and these are recent games as well, missed with a concussion. Just came back into the lineup against OKC at the midweek point. Obviously, with the changes Danny Cruz has already made, 3rd game in a little over a week for Lou City. That is not a good sight for Louisville City fans as Danny Cruz assesses things with the rest of the team, as Coach Gibson does the same with Atlanta United 2, as we take a look at the last sequence one more time.
Yeah, it's that same ball to the back post. Sean Tosh, the 3rd time he's won it. There is a bit of a push there. You see that knee catching him right around the back of the head. He knows right away. He's a bit, I would think, worried. There is obviously a bit of a cut there. Looks like they're going to patch him up and get on with it. But I think they'll also be really reassessing him again at halftime. It's so close to halftime, and they'll really keep a close eye on him. Great medical staff who'll know what to do in this situation. But Cameron Lancaster, you know, he's having a great career, and he's a very good player. You just almost wonder what level could he have played at if he hadn't been so unfortunate with injuries over the years. I think he's torn his ACL a couple of times, major injury. but such a good player and just seems to get struck with injuries a lot.
At one point was part of Tottenham Hotspur's future over in England. Obviously, he's from that area in London.
Yeah, was playing in the Tottenham first team at a time when Harry Kane wasn't.
Yep.
You know, and Harry Kane obviously has gone out on loan and various loans and then found his way into the team, found his way now to be the captain of England. But great to see Lancaster up on his feet. Hopefully he's fine. And really, Lou City need him to be available and on the field as much as possible. Any team in the USL would want to have him out there if they possibly could.
Lancaster is getting ready just off your screen to the right to come back on, and he is now back on the pitch, which is great to see. Again, we'll keep an eye on him as well as the game goes on, but he is bandaged up and for the time being ready to continue. 7 goals this season for Cameron Lancaster, and he's 2 away from 60 in his remarkable USL Championship career. And that 7-goal mark is tied for 4th coming into the night in the league for top goal scorers.
Yeah, and it's 7 goals in just over 500 and something minutes. Obviously a bit more now, having played this almost 45 minutes, but his goals per minute ratio this season's, you know, top class.
Masoso really got on the end of it and just kind of poked it forward towards Lancaster. Jack Gibson was looking for a free kick there. It wasn't given. The play is not dead yet, though, as Cobb trying to thread the needle through a little bit. And he just was able, the goalkeeper, Hubbard, get to that as it was shepherded along to him. Ball in behind, looking for Lancaster, dealt with defensively by Feo. McFadden now under some pressure, gives it away. Poked on towards McCabe. And Atlanta United to regain possession. Stoppage time is presented by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Refs have added 3 minutes onto the end of this entertaining first half in Louisville, Kentucky.
Good play again by Wiley.
Wiley's continued his run here. He'll get it again. Mertz through the middle for Atlanta United 2, but Mackie Jope is the target, and he skies it over the top. He thought he had hit the target.
Yeah, probably the best chance of the first half for Atlanta United 2. All comes from Wiley. Beats Matt Soso down into his own, near his own box. Continues his run. Whips in a great cross. Jope times his run well, but just can't keep it down.
Well, Jack Collison, I think, also thought for a moment that might have been it.
Yeah, Jope just got slightly past the front post by the time the delivery came, but yeah, I think Kyle Gregg is looking like he's going to be getting made ready for action, and that can only mean one thing, unfortunately, which would be substituting for Cameron Lancaster.
And we're told Lancaster off camera went down again, and this is the right move, especially with what we know about concussions. You can't take them lightly, and we will see the change made. Lancaster will get further attention here. And here's the moment earlier when Lancaster needed to get bandaged up.
Big moment there. Could have been a goal, ends up great save, but then losing Lancaster from the game.
So Kyle Gregg is on. 4 goals to his name this season.
Yeah, Kyle Gregg, an able replacement, a good signing for Lou City. He was available, I think, around May when most rosters were already filled up, and Lou City pounced on the opportunity to get him, and I think it was a very, very important signing because you can't really go into the season with just one recognised striker, but with Kyle Gregg they have another who's been on great form recently and probably is still just finding his match fitness, having not done a full pre-season.
Wiley had plenty of space. He's offside though. That substitution, Gregg for Lancaster, is brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond. Kyle Gregg, formerly of rivals St. Louis FC, See there, Kyle Bragg on. Confirmation of Lancaster's departure.
Yeah, disappointing to see Lancaster going off there.
Maybe one last chance for Lou City at the end of this first half. Watts, so probably be the last few passes here. Del Piccolo looking for Greg, and it's cut out well and out for a throw-in. Watts, Del Piccolo with a searching ball in, cleared away as far as Gibson now. And the substitution might add just a little bit more on, and not much more than that. And that is the end of the first half in Louisville, Kentucky. Well, a fun first half, disappointing obviously to see Cameron Lancaster going off with an injury, but still plenty to play for between Lou City and Atlanta United too, Coach.
Yeah, I think a good half probably from both teams. Be pretty happy with it. Lou City were definitely on top for most of the game, but a couple good chances on the break for Atlanta United too. Jock just missing over the bar from a great cross from Wiley, probably their best chance. So all to play for in the second half.
We're looking forward to it. Lou City were on the front foot for most of it in the first half, but Atlanta United too were able to get a foothold in this game. Both coaches have plenty to think about at the half. We're looking forward to the second half here in Kentucky. It's Louisville City 0, Atlanta United 2-0. The halftime is next.
With the eyes of the world upon you, you have to perform. You have to be quicker. You have to be more powerful. You have to be better. It's in the DNA of every Olympic and Paralympic athlete and in every new Toyota. We are driven to be the best. This 4th of July weekend, get $750 customer cash on any new 21 Highlander or 2.9 financing. Get $750 customer cash on RAV4 or a low $209 a month lease and drive home a winner. Toyota, let's go places.
You know, interest rates are still low.
That's low. Like really low.
Exactly, which means your dream of buying a house might finally come true. A house you can wake up in each morning, raise your family in, improve as you go, or even build from scratch. So whether it's your first house or your dream house, let's make it home with full home lending from Commonwealth Credit Union. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Metro Safe dispatched a run on a small child that appeared to have been kidnapped. Neighbors and bystanders were calling in saying that the girl had been taken off of her bike. We saturated the area very quickly. We were able to get there, get in the area, find her, rescued her from her captor. It's extremely rare for this to happen. Everybody knew exactly what we were looking for due to the bystanders calling in.
310 or 1086, we have her girl.
When we hit the field, it's game on.
Louisville City FC is on the hunt for our third star. This is our city, Louisville City. The city of soccer, the city of champions. No matter where you're watching the match, when we take the field, we're doing it for you, for us, and for the city.
Watch Louisville City FC take on the Colorado Switchbacks, July 23rd at 9 on WBKI.
Back here at the half between Lou City and Atlanta United 2. Well, a great team needs a great facility, right? And obviously Lou City opening up the Lynn Family Sports Vision and Training Center. It's a beautiful new facility for this team to use. Obviously great locker room looks at it there, and it's really state of the art. Taking a look at a couple of different shots of it here. Obviously it's another great step in the program and franchise's history for Louisville City. A team with rich history and obviously now with a great facility as well with all the fixins involved. Now we take a look at the United States Deaf Men's National Team and their progress moving forward as well involving Louisville City.
So this team is really special because we represent the United States, and we also share, having a hearing loss and deafness. To be on this team, you have to have a minimum of 55 decibels hearing loss in your better ear. So there's a variety of guys who have either cochlear implants, hearing aids, or neither of them. Some guys communicate only with sign language. Some guys are speak orally like I do, and I also know some sign language, so it's a mix. And these camps are really important because we build our chemistry here as guys are from all over the country.
You know, we're just super excited to be a part of the extended national team. You know, U.S. Deaf Soccer has a men's and a women's program. The player pool for both programs is approaching 100 players, so we're excited about that. Obviously, we've got a new contingent or new families that'll be a part of U.S. Soccer. Again, we just want to have an opportunity for our players to have a platform to express their gifts, their talents, and abilities, and we're happy to be a part of U.S. Soccer.
Right, so the biggest thing is communication. So on the field, we all use the same language. You know, a lot of us are deaf and we know American Sign Language. But on the hearing team, you have to use gestures. You have to make eye contact with everyone. You always have to check in where the ball is, where the players are. Make sure that you support each other. Training, you know, is basically the same. It's high-level training.
You know, I didn't really think about it until yesterday. I was just thinking, wow, like they have to communicate or, you know, really read body language and, you know, really make eye contact. Whereas, you know, the way we play at Louisville City, there's a lot of verbal and nonverbal communication. Everything they have here is mostly nonverbal communication on the field. So really inspiring to see how they.
At university, my experience would have been a lot more like stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
And the save from Cardoni, it's there, and Cardoni with a huge save. Beautiful ball through, and that's in.
Brilliant.
Bruce with a stunner.
Yearwood now.
Yearwood for New Mexico.
Since the beginning of this worldwide crisis, Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport has been flying essential travelers across the country and around the world. We want all travelers to know that we have implemented processes and procedures to ensure your health and safety. We have nonstop flights to over 30 destinations nationwide and easy connections to hundreds more around the globe. When you need to fly, fly Louisville.
At Mortensen Family Dental, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to keep your smile healthy. That's why we provide convenient online scheduling for new patients, accept most dental insurances, and offer an affordable dental discount club for those without insurance. All the while keeping your family's safety our top priority. Call or visit us online to make an appointment. We'll give you a reason to smile.
With the eyes of the world upon you, you have to be quicker. You have to be more powerful. You have to be better. It's in the DNA of every Olympic and Paralympic athlete and in every new Toyota. We are driven to be the best, like the legendary 4Runner, Tundra with the best resale value, and Tacoma, the best-selling midsize truck. They all come with 2 years no-cost maintenance included. And with new vehicles arriving daily, your Toyota dealer's got a winning deal for you. Toyota, let's go places.
Back here on the ServPro Halftime Report, Sean St. Jacques, Martin Rennie back here with you. We'll get to Louisville City and Atlanta United 2 second half in just a few moments. But first, we'll take a look at the news and notes from around the USL Championship, starting with a couple of new additions. One in the championship with Monterey Bay, and of course, the Northern Colorado Hailstorm in League One. Great to see those two new additions coming up for 2022. And then Coach Haji Berry scored already earlier today. He keeps on rolling for the Switchbacks despite them losing to San Antonio.
Yeah, very talented player. Great to see him doing so well this season. He had a great season a couple of years ago with Sporting KC too. Fell off a little bit, but now really flying at the moment, so making a big difference for Colorado, but not enough to get past San Antonio, who are going to be out again on Wednesday.
You can't wait to see that. July 21st, San Antonio, New Mexico United. That's going to be a fun matchup. Definitely worth tuning in. Coach, now the power rankings, top 10, some movers and shakers. Lou City dropping to 4 in the power rankings.
Yeah, they had a defeat last week, but El Paso right now looking very good. They play a really great brand of soccer. They move the ball really, really well, and it's a very hard place to go. Very hot, very difficult conditions, small field, but they play that field brilliantly, and they're not only good on the ball, but they're defending really well.
Now we take a look at the Corsair Charities' upcoming schedule. Austin and Real Monarchs on Sunday. We mentioned the matchup on ESPN2 on Wednesday. San Antonio and New Mexico United. Charleston against Charlotte. A lot of good matchups.
A lot of good matches. San Antonio had a couple weeks where they didn't play. Came back today with a big win. I think with a slightly different formation, so it'll be interesting to see how that game goes against New Mexico. That's a big game. But as you rightly say, there's a number of good ones there, all exciting, and looking forward to seeing them.
Switchbacks, Lou City as well. Definitely worth mentioning that as well. We're looking forward to those, and we're looking forward to the second half between Lou City and Atlanta United 2. It's coming up after the break.
At Mortensen Family Dental, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to keep your smile healthy. That's why we provide convenient online scheduling for new patients, accept most dental insurances, and offer an affordable dental discount club for those without insurance. All the while keeping your family's safety our top priority. Call or visit us online to make an appointment. We'll give you a reason to smile.
With the eyes of the world upon you, you have to perform. You have to be quicker. You have to be more powerful. You have to be better. It's in the DNA of every Olympic and Paralympic athlete and in every new Toyota. We are driven to be the best. This 4th of July weekend, get $750 customer cash on any new 21 Highlander or 2.9 financing. Get $750 customer cash on RAV4 or a low $209 a month lease and drive home a winner. Toyota, let's go places.
Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport is proud to welcome Breeze Airways with 3 nonstop flights to Charleston, Tampa, and New Orleans.
By the middle of the summer, we'll be in 15 cities, really desirable, cool cities like Charleston, Tampa, New Orleans, and with fares, get this, starting at only $39. Chances are we can get you there twice as fast for half the price. Welcome to Breeze, everybody. Come aboard.
Enjoying the sunshine and fresh air can be hard for many of us. Advanced ENT and Allergy is the regional leader in upper airway care. From allergies, sinus problems, sleep apnea, hearing health, and more, our medical team treats everyone like family. Advanced ENT and Allergy offers same-day appointments, and for many, no referral is needed. Our outstanding team of physicians, along with state-of-the-art technology, can get you breathing right, sleeping well, and feeling better sooner. Go to advancedentandallergy.com for your appointment. 8 locations.
Sean St. Jacques, Martin Rennie back here with you. Goalless so far between Lou City and Atlanta United 2. Here's how we got here, looking at the first half highlights between these two. 8th minute, Coach, we start things off, and this was a bit of a theme for parts of the first half. Lou City on the front foot.
Yeah, diagonal run behind from midfield, cross. Ball falls for McCabe, and Mclaughlin just misses it on the back post.
Niall McCabe was involved in a lot of the attacks for Louisville City in the first half. Jimmy Mclaughlin not able to get on the end of that. 23rd minute, Atlanta United 2 nearly shot themselves in the foot.
Yep, Louisville City right on top with the pressing. Poor ball given away by Novo, and McCabe just over the bar with that one. Lancaster looking to get free, looking for the pass, but McCabe goes alone and can't quite execute on the finish.
37th minute, this might have been Atlanta United 2's best attack of the game. It started with a pass over to Robbie Mertz.
Yep, good overlapping run, ball to the back post, comes in, and just off on that back stick from Fortune.
Atlanta United 2 starting to get a foothold in to the game towards the end of the first half. 41st minute, Lou City, though, created another chance, and they had Gibson throw it back into the mixer.
Yeah, this was really probably the key moment of the first half. Ball back across from Tosh. Lancaster gets on the end of it. Novo makes a great save, but unfortunately Lancaster follows through, bangs into Novo's knee. Nothing intentional there, but ends up with a head knock and had to go off because of that. Probably suspected concussion, I would guess.
Halftime stats brought to you by C&L Heating and Air. Possession pretty tight in the first half. Shots on target 2-0 in favor of Louisville City, who have just about nicked it, I'd say, despite it being level on goals. But Atlanta United 2 had a little bit of momentum at the end of that first half, and obviously Cameron Lancaster is done for the night.
Yeah, the possession that Atlanta United 2 had was probably more in their own half. Certainly Lou City would have been in the opponent's half more often with the ball. But look out for the last 20 minutes of this game. That's when we might see Lou City tire a little bit, and that could be when Atlanta United 2 get their chance.
Kyle Gregg is on for Cameron Lancaster. He came on just at the end of the first half after Cameron Lancaster couldn't continue again. You mentioned it, Coach. Cameron Lancaster had been dealing with a concussion not too recently, I should say, not too far in the past. Just got back from it after a 4-game absence. So again, we hope he is okay moving forward. For the time being, though, Kyle Gregg, a very experienced attacking player, 4 goals to his name this season after coming over from St. Louis during the offseason. He kicks us off to get us back underway in the second half in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, very good replacement, on good form. And if you give him chances, he'll take them.
Also told that Mackie Jope was withdrawn at the half for Atlanta United 2. Darwin Mateus was on for him. Substitution brought to you by MHS Global.
Yeah, it's a shame for Jope as well, because he's had a few injuries this season. He's not really got his season going either. So both players that have gone off have had similar runs this season, unfortunately.
And we did see Mackie Jope go down away from the ball a couple of times in the first half. So tough to see 2 of the more talented players on the pitch leave before the second half could get underway. But still anyone's game as well. Still a lot of potential. Dramisi Mateus, who's just come on for Atlanta United 2, certainly could be a difference maker for Jack Collison's side. And Atlanta United 2 beat Lou City the last time these two met on June 6th. Atlanta United 2 haven't won since that game. And Lou City have been, despite conceding goals at times, have been in the ascendancy over these last few weeks, which Danny Cruz talked to us and also talked generally about how important it is just to be back at the top of the table, but also to be shoring up some of those things at the back. But also he said, you know, a lot of the mistakes at the back have really just been from our midfield, giving the ball away in tough positions as well, where we haven't been able to recover. They're trying to create something here. Gregg under some pressure, couldn't quite find a teammate in the penalty area. Lou City not letting Atlanta United 2 out with it just yet. Mertz plays it all the way back, and it is finally cleared away. Theo did a good job defensively. Mateus thought he was fouled, wasn't given.
And Mateus did well there, and it's going to be interesting in the second half because he's certainly a different profile to Jope, who's bigger, stronger, faster. Well, maybe not faster, but bigger, stronger profile. Maybe hold the ball up a little bit more, where Mateus is going to have to come and get it, get on the turn, or make good runs behind. He's probably not going to win physical battles against Winder and Tosh.
This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Sean Tosh recovers it for Lou City. Just kind of floats it forward. Helped on towards McCabe. Gregg's making a good run through the middle, and he overran it. I should say the pass was behind him in the end. Unlucky for Gregg. Lou City picked it back up for a moment, but Mertz regains possession. And then he's taken down, and referee sees no advantage and gives the free kick.
Yeah, similar pattern that we saw in the first half. Good high pressure from Lou City, winning the ball back fairly consistently in the Atlanta half, and creating not any clear chances really, but not really letting Atlanta United 2 settle or get out of their half, and eventually that's going to take its toll.
Of course, we talked about the likes of Tyler Wolf, Alex DeJohn, Jackson Conway, Ambrose as well, others that have played in MLS for Atlanta United, and they haven't been available. It's the same thing tonight with Atlanta United 2, but obviously Will Riley back in college now, going to play at Stanford, so it's a lot of talent that Atlanta United too don't have at their disposal as well that we had seen earlier in the season. A lot of that stretch when they were really good in the early stretches.
Yeah, it happens a lot with the second teams because, you know, let's say at the moment Atlanta United's first team have players away for the Gold Cup. They've got a number of injuries. Seems to be a few issues with Martinez. So that then means there's a trickle-down effect where players have to move up. Whether they start or they're on the bench for the first team, they're then no longer available for the second team. And then that obviously means opportunities for others, but it does take away a certain level of experience and quality that would make a difference in a game like this.
Mertz nearly had his pass picked off. Atlanta United to get a free kick. Gibson pleading with the referee. Masoso a little frustrated as well.
Yeah, you saw a minute ago as well, Matsoso breaking again. It's that diagonal run behind for the pass behind. It creates a lot of problems and in that case ended up in a goal kick, but could have been more problematic.
Greg couldn't quite get on the end of it. Oh, and now he does, but the flag goes up, and actually it's brought back for a free kick. And maybe the whistle stopped Atlanta United 2's defense, as like for a moment there might have been an advantage there. Tonight's nuggets of the match brought to you by Chick-fil-A Kentuckiania. You see there the returning of 18 players this season from Lou City. Of course, Niall McCabe, the longest running veteran, only member of the original roster to have played for Lou City for this long. Good ball in for Lou City here towards the back post, and a foul will stop the attack at its tracks. Looked like the target was Wes Sharpie. Del Piccolo was there as well. In the end, to no avail for the home side.
Yeah, Lou City have done a great job of keeping their roster together and having consistency, and that's really allowed them to continue with their success year after year. You know, McCabe, fantastic from him to have been able to be with the team right from the beginning, be involved in all the success, still be there now, still playing a key role on the team. But many players have been there for a long time, and then that creates a positive culture, a winning culture, and keeping it together has been important towards their development and their continued success.
Gibson won it back for a moment. Now Lou City have it again. There's the aforementioned Niall McCabe. Tosh under a little bit of pressure as Fortune was running through, and Hubbard has to deal with it.
Yeah, good energy there from Fortune. That's applauded by his man, his coach, Jack Collison. Happy to see that from his midfielders.
Coach Collison directing traffic there in front of, say, just to the left of Aidan McFadden, who throws it back into play. Flick forward, easily dealt with at the back by Winder. Now Mclaughlin, and that might be too far. It is in front of Del Piccolo. Oh, he does a good job keeping this in play just for a moment, Del Piccolo. That was great extra effort. Thought that was just going to go out. He made a great challenge, and Atlanta United 2 still have to deal with this here. Winder ends up bringing down Mateus, I believe it was. Or I should say rather Benitez. Who ends up conceding the free kick, the youngster.
Yeah, but he's done well tonight, his debut, and played well. I mean, I think he looks like he's got all the tools. Big, strong, fast, good on the ball. Seems confident. Talking to people, pointing and directing.
He's upset that Sean Tosh didn't find him in the penalty area in the first half. He mentioned that, Coach. That's the sign of some confidence and maturity.
Exactly, yep.
Now Lou City could have an opening here for Tyler Gibson to run into. He was brought back down. Play continues. Greg in behind. It's in. Beautiful build-up for Louisville City, and it's the man of the moment, Napo Masoso, who gives the home side the lead.
Yeah, it's been coming. They've been in Atlanta United 2 half for the entire game up until this point. This goal will give them energy. Atlanta United 2 will have to come out a little bit. But it starts with Gibson driving forward. Does really well. I told you how fit he is. Great play on the turn from Del Piccolo. Ball in behind for Matsoso, and an excellent finish in the bottom corner. I believe it was Kyle Gregg with the assist, so he's made an impact since he's come on. An excellent finish from Matsoso, who I believe has just been coming back from a little time out himself. So excellent goal and a big moment in the game.
That goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. Napo Matsoso, his second goal of the season for Louisville City. And Lou City, worth mentioning, when they've been tied at the half this season, they haven't dropped any points. 3 wins from 3, and they've got the opening goal. They're one of their favorites around here, Napo Matsoso.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, when Atlanta United 2 have lost the first goal in the game, they haven't won any of those games. So they have to overcome that tonight. That means from here they have to get 2 goals. Not sure if I can see that happening, but confusion there. Del Piccolo didn't stop though.
Could be a second for Lou City here. Matsoso's in again, and Wiley on the backtracking. Needed to get there and did.
Del Piccolo just brings so many of these intangibles to the game. You saw it maybe 2 or 3 minutes ago. He wins a ball in the corner that he had no business winning. Looked like it was going to roll out, but that gives his teammates a lift. There, Atlanta United 2 maybe think there's a stoppage, or maybe think they've heard a whistle. They stop, or they're hesitating. Del Piccolo doesn't. He wins the ball back, creates another chance. He's up pressing, talking, rotating well into different positions, and I just think that he brings so much to this team. And obviously he's their captain, well respected and well known, but I just think he maybe even brings a little more than people realize.
Here they come again, Lou City. It was a good start from McCabe. Gregg nearly able to get on the end of it. Novo able to do his job as Lou City will recycle it.
Lou City staying on the front foot. Even though they got that goal, they've still got that high back line, still looking to press well.
Looks like a couple of changes upcoming for Louisville City. Alexi Zuahi is going to enter. Winder will have his night come to an end, as you see some appreciation there from Jimmy Mclaughlin. The youngster did his job tonight. And the veteran Zuahi will come on. Wes Sharpie, player that Coach Danny Cruz said always has a great attitude. One of our most important players. He will exit. And Patrick McMahon will come on in his place. Both of the substitutions brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond. Tonight's trivia brought to you by Tony's Break and Alignment. Corbin Bone, second in the USL with 28 chances created this season. Who is second for Lou City? Those at home, you got about 10 minutes to kind of, brainstorm this one. McCabe, Lancaster, Jogo, Jonathan Gomez in there as well. I will give you a little bit of a hint. Martin Rennie dropped it in there earlier in the first half. Give you a little bit of a hint. We'll have the answer for you in just a few minutes. Yeah, don't want you to say it again, Coach, but you dropped it in.
Attention, absolutely. Won't say it twice.
Lou City on the attack, looking for their second. McLaughlin nearly got on the end of it. McMahon on a recycle for Lou City.
Yeah, McMahon just coming in on that left back area. Usually plays on the right, but came in for Sharpie there. So the left side of Lou City's back four changed there with Swahi and McMahon coming on for Winder and Sharpie. So sometimes difficult to do that. You're changing half of your back four. Could have an impact on your communication. But these players have played so much together, it shouldn't make too much of a difference. And probably the main thinking is just to have fresh legs on there and keep the pressure up and keep the line high and keep going.
McLaughlin nearly got through, but it was a good job shielding by McFadden to make sure he didn't, and Novo gobbles it up.
Who's pressing again? First man up, Del Piccolo, and then the next press. Atlanta have to play long.
Tosh heading it back into a dangerous area. Poked away again. Atlanta United 2 doing their best to try to get this out. They're able to. Crucial run there by Connor Stanley. Now McFadden. And McFadden couldn't get it past McMahon, but he wins the throw. Benitez forced to go all the way back to Cobb. All over the top, too far in front of the substitute Mateus. Del Piccolo, another crucial part of the recent Lou City success. And Lou City have been now to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals in USL Championship play. Of course, 2 USL Cup wins, 2017 and 2018 as well. As Kyle Gregg got a good opportunity there, but he was offside. And Napo Masoso, as he was trying to push that away, might have come up a little injured there. As Atlanta United 2 will make a change here. A 15-year-old, soon-to-be 16-year-old departs, and a 16-year-old, Jonathan Vial, will take his place. Substitution brought to you by MHS Global.
Yeah, baptism of fire for Cobb, having to come into his first game as a professional, playing away from home against Lou City, against all the quality midfielders they have with the rotation and energy that they show. But he acquitted himself well, and you know, nothing really outstanding one way or the other, but he'll be benefiting a lot from getting those minutes under his belt. That'll give him a lot of confidence. And you know, you've got to remember, I don't even know if he's probably not got his driver's license yet, but he's out there playing in front of this big crowd in this fantastic stadium, and so big things to come from him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works in the state of Kentucky, but he might not even have his permit yet. Still trying to work that out first. One thing at a time, I guess. I should say Georgia, more specifically. Meanwhile, in Kentucky, McCabe has been all over the place as far as attacking options for Lou City in this first just over an hour now, 62 minutes or so.
Yeah, really impressed with Lou City, with it being the 3rd game in the week, but them really being the aggressors.
McLaughlin lining it up. Jimmy McLaughlin! Oh, sensational! What a moment for Jimmy McLaughlin! And Lou City double their money.
What a strike. I thought he'd taken a little too long. It looked like the chance was there for him, and he didn't pull the trigger. He took it on a little further, and what a hit. Fantastic from McLaughlin, and great to see. A guy who's been out for a little while before he came to Lou City, wasn't playing for really a couple of seasons, but there I thought he could have had it. He didn't. He knew better, and he couldn't have hit it any better than that.
First goal this season for Jimmy McLaughlin, and what a time and what a place and what a way to get it. And the boys in purple are 2-0 to the good at Lynn Family Stadium in stunning style.
And a really crucial time to score that second goal. Really will build the confidence, boost the confidence. I'd expect to moralise Atlanta United too a little bit. And I think we'll see Lou City extending their lead at the top of the table.
Goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. Well, Jimmy McLaughlin might want to go buy a ticket after that one. My goodness, what a strike. And Lou City behind 2 really good second half goals. McLaughlin's the best of the bunch. Lead by 2 goals to 0. Foul will go the other way here against Atlanta United 2.
Yeah, McLaughlin was a big fans' favourite for FC Cincinnati. got himself a bad injury there. He was with the team and they went into Major League Soccer, but I believe tore his ACL, was out then for a long time rehabbing and so on, was then still with the club the season after that, but didn't really play, so hasn't really been playing for quite a while. Gets his chance here with Lou City, and he's probably just starting to get in a rhythm now, because it takes a while to come back from that long of a layoff. And wow, what a way to get your first goal.
This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. If it weren't for the net, that strike from Jimmy Mclaughlin would be going places. What an effort from him. And now Lou City find themselves in command. And Atlanta United 2 in some trouble here.
A really key factor in a week like this where you have 3 games is when you rotate the team, the guys who come in, you really, as a coach, you're really hoping they come and do a good job. You're really hoping they step it up. And Mclaughlin, Matsoso, they've done that. And that's a really key factor for any team, any squad. It's when players get their chance, they have to take it. And these guys have. And then we've not missed Ombi and Bone and guys like that quite as much as you otherwise would have, because these others have come in and done well.
Lou City in the ascendancy here. Wiley able to fight it off and fight it away, really. Zuahi bring it back to his goalkeeper. Good pressure from the substitute Mateus. Stanley tries to keep it in. Not quite able to do so despite his good hustle there, just in front of Lou City interim coach Danny Cruz.
Yeah, Danny Cruz has done really well since taking over from John Hackworth, and really stuck to the principles that Lou City have built their club upon.
Greg nearly got in behind and then nearly found Masoso, who could have been in for his second.
And no clearer example than when they went 1-0 up. They made a couple changes at the back, mainly I believe so they could keep that high back line and keep pressing, stay in the opponent's half. There was no thought of, right, let's sit back and try and defend the lead and try and catch Atlanta 2 on the counter attack. It was no, stick with the same, keep the energy high, and when we have to defend deep, we do, but we aim to stay in the other half and keep the pressure up, and they've done that really well. You see even now McCabe stepping out of midfield to pressure and trying to keep the Atlanta United 2 in a difficult position. It'd be difficult for them to break Lou City down from here.
McFadden heads it into the path of Zuahi. McFadden followed through there on the challenge. McMahon goes down. McFadden concedes the free kick. Well, he's teased it earlier. The trivia answer here, if you guess Niall McCabe, or if you look back and took a pointer or two from Coach Martin Rennie, you got it right. Niall McCabe is the correct answer. Just a couple behind, not too far behind Bones' mark in chances created for this phenomenal Lou City attack.
Yeah, the thing I like with Niall McCabe is he can play wide left, he can play wide right, he can play in any of the two kind of number 8, number 10 attacking positions in midfield, and he just gives you a consistent performance in whichever one of those positions he plays. And that's fantastic for a coach to have a guy who can do that and that you can rely on, and that's done it for so long for the same club.
With those 2 goals, by the way, at least as it stands right now, Lou City have scored 28 this season. That's now the tops in all of the USL Championship. Just behind them, 2 goals behind now, is Phoenix Rising, who play later on tonight. I'm sure they will have their eye on regaining, or at least getting a share again of the top spot. They were tied going into the night. Lou City are now 2 in front.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see another goal tonight from Lou City. Not that they need it right now. They need to keep the ball well and defend well, but with the 2 strikes we've seen, wouldn't be surprising to see another.
Still time for Atlanta United 2 as well to try to get back into this game, but they have looked a little rattled since McLaughlin's goal in particular went into the back of the net. And you see there, no shots on target yet for Atlanta United 2. Is Vial, the 16-year-old, trying to make something happen on the far side. Now Wiley picks it up, leaves it for Mertz. Still 21 minutes to go. Atlanta United 2 on the attack. Wiley has a chance to whip this in. Instead, he gets a corner. This was the same scoreline when Lou City won on opening night against Atlanta United 2 here. I think the biggest difference so far is Atlanta United 2 just haven't created the same amount of chances as they did in that very first meeting. Can they get something from this, though? McFadden puts in a searching ball. It's over everybody's head, and Kyle Gregg is able to watch it harmlessly roll out for a goal kick.
Yeah, early on in the season, Atlanta United 2 came out of the gates pretty quickly and looked, very strong. They picked up a couple wins early on, a couple good results, and even in the game that you mentioned against Lou City at Lynn Family Stadium early in the season, first game of the season, they didn't win that one, but they did look dangerous and they had chances. That's not really been the case tonight, and for a number of games now, they've only really picked up one win, I think you said, in the last 9 games. For Coach Jack Collison, he's coming in and, if they don't get a win tonight, then he's got 1 win in his first 8 games. And Atlanta United 2 had just played 9 out of 10 games at home, and I think 7 of their next 10 are away. So they're in a tough spot right now. It's always difficult because so many young players, and of course it's about the development of those players, but there is always an expectation to win as well, and so they're going to need to dig deep over these next few weeks and months.
One of the stats from the last meeting between these two that stood out was that Lou City's average age in their starting 11 was 29.5 years old. Atlanta United 2's was 22, and that's not even the youngest 11 they've put out this season. There's been a couple of borderline 19, 20-year-old lineups that we've seen as well from them in earlier games this season, but the mean of those averages has been about 21 years old for Atlanta United 2. Just about, if you look back through most of the season, that's been the number you'll see. So that definitely plays a role as well, as McCabe looks for Gregg, and another big save by Novo to keep Atlanta United 2 in with a chance.
Well, that's another chance created by McCabe, and it was excellent movement in the box by Gregg. He moved to his left and then suddenly quickly moved to the front post, losing his defender. Another good save by Novo, who's made a couple of excellent saves tonight.
Atlanta United 2 dodge a bullet there. Here's Stanley now for Atlanta United 2 on the attack. Vial running his way through the middle, wins a free kick in a pretty dangerous area. The yellow card looks like it will be brandished here for Masoso, the goal scorer, as we take a look at the previous sequence for Lou City, Coach.
Diagonal run behind from midfield again. McCabe gets on it. You don't see it in that picture, but Gregg moved towards the back post, then quickly towards the front post, got a solid contact on the ball. Might even have been deflected, and Novo came up with another excellent save. His reactions on the line have been good tonight.
Referee has shown a vivify yellow card to number 7 for Lou City, Napo Masoso, who's got a goal and now a card to his name tonight. Now it's Chris Hubbard who organized this back line here, should say this wall for Louisville City. It's Atlanta United 2 looking for a route back into the game. Aiden McFadden sizes it up and ends up sending it soaring over the top and into the orchestra section behind the goal.
Yeah, McFadden, maybe similar form in some ways to Atlanta. When he was really hot, Atlanta seemed to be as well. You mentioned it was a 5-0 win against Tulsa, 2 goals from McFadden, 1-0 win against Lou City, goal from McFadden. But really, over recent times, there's not been such a goal threat from McFadden, and there's also not been so many good results, or at least certainly wins, for Atlanta United 2. And I think this is the last 15-20 minutes, including stoppage time, is important that Atlanta United 2 finish strong. They should have more energy. They've been rested all week, but as it stands at the moment, it's a very dominant performance from Lou City.
A couple of changes here for Louisville City. Antoine Opano is going to come on. As Del Piccolo will make way as well for George Davis, the fourth.
Yeah, Danny Cruz using all of his squad throughout this week.
Well, Jimmy McLaughlin's going to get a nice hand here as he makes way. Both substitutions brought to you by MHS Global Above and Beyond. Here's the goal that people will be talking about in Louisville, Kentucky tonight.
Has to be a contender for goal of the week, surely. What a strike off the underside of the bar. Novo has got no chance with that one.
A goal he'll remember for some time. Jimmy McLaughlin. Again, Openo on as well. Now with George Davis, the fourth. I want to quickly mention on Openo, making his 149th appearance tonight off the bench for Lou City. Obviously one more, and it'll be 150 career appearances for Antoine Openo, and other players had a great career on this Louisville City roster. Fans head to Twitter to vote on tonight's Dr. Mark Lynn and Associates Man of the Match poll. Will be open for the next few minutes. Vote at twitter.com/Lou City FC to cast your vote.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago since Antoine Openo joined Lou City. Remember, it was a swap deal with Lucky Cusano to Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Right.
Doesn't seem that long ago for him to have racked up 149 already, on the verge of 150. That's good going.
McCabe with a good ball in. Zuahi nearly got on the end of it. Openo was making sure that possibly stayed in play, and then Tosh is penalized as Connor Stanley wins a free kick. 14 minutes to go. Coach Danny Cruz trying to see Lou City get this over the line.
Let's see, look at how well they're winning the ball back in the opponent's half. It starts with McCabe coming and pressing, and then they're on the ball, and now they're on the ball in the opponent's half again. And that all comes from that press. And that's what I really think with Lou City. They're one of the few teams in the USL Championship that have got the ability to play well. Hopefully they've given a bad ball away there, but they can also work hard and press hard. They do both sides. There's quite a lot of teams that play the ball well. They've got good passing, good technique, but they don't have the second side of it, which is the work ethic, the hunger. They don't cover the ground well enough. They don't have the energy that Lou City do. And then there's other teams that can defend well, can play, you know, maybe a bit more direct, who can work hard, but they don't have the same talent and quality on the ball. So that's what I think has really set Lou City apart over these last few years, and is continuing to stand out for them now.
Atlantic United 2, though, do have a set piece after they get a free kick one. Decent ball into the penalty area, falls for a chance. Stanley's second opportunity as it was redirected, but it's redirected wide and out for a goal kick. For a moment there, looked like Feo may have been able to trouble the goalkeeper, Hubbard, but in the end, he was not able to find the target.
Yeah, I think it was Stanley with the first effort. Didn't really catch it cleanly. Almost worked out with the deflection, but still no shots on target.
That's the thing. And this season, Atlanta United 2 have scored 16 goals inside the penalty area. We have not seen them get many chances. I think the Mackie Jope chance from the first half was probably the best of the bunch, but since then, Coach, the team that needs to get into the box to score, statistically at least, has not been able to get there.
Yeah, and I think it's difficult, as I said at halftime, when you bring on Mateus and you lose Jope, you've not got that physical presence up there, and you've got Mateus up there beside Tosh and now Swahi.
Oh, and Openo here could be in for Lou City. Picks his head up and puts in a good ball, but nobody made a run quick enough to get to it, and Wiley retrieves.
Again, look at the press though. They're up there, they're winning 2-0, third game in a week, and boom, they win the ball back within 25-30 yards of their opponent's half. They've lost it there, but it's not really dangerous. It's not really a major problem. And I think it's Akil Watts perhaps down over there, can maybe take a few minutes off the clock and show his experience, show the team's experience to break the game up at a good time.
Meanwhile, it looks like Atlanta United 2 will make a change in a moment, but for the time being, Akil Watts will be attended to on the far side. Again, you've talked about it, Coach. You mentioned it in conversation earlier. Third game in just over a week for Lou City, so it's not too surprising that Akil Watts is down. See there, the Atlanta United 2 change. Mateus Benitez will be withdrawn. Alexander Garuba is going to come on an MHS Global change here for the roadside with just over 10 minutes of the 90 remaining, as Benitez just received word that he will be taken off.
Yeah, played slightly deeper tonight, just off the front. Didn't get any chances in front of goal. And Gonzalez coming on for Lou City. It'll be interesting to see him. I think he's a really interesting player. Unfortunately for him and for Lou City, he's been injured really all season up until now. But last season for Portland Timbers 2, he was a very, very key player. He's a wide player who plays narrow, who can come inside from the left and really got a great shot on him. He can play on the right-hand side as well. Not necessarily an out-and-out wide player beating people 1v1, but very direct, very dangerous towards the goal. And I think a guy who can really help Lou City down the stretch.
So Coach Danny Cruz wastes no time. Akil Watts will be withdrawn. Another MHS Global substitution here. Watts withdrawn, and Gonzalez comes on. MHS Global above and beyond. Garuba for Atlanta United 2 just made his first start of the season last time out in the 1-0 defeat at home against Sporting KC2. He's back in for a second consecutive game, this time as a substitute. 9 minutes to go. Goals from Napo Masoso and Jimmy Mclaughlin, both in the second half. Masoso's on it again. Couldn't quite find McCabe, who was in good space inside the penalty area. Now Stanley bringing it away. Atlanta United 2 trying to get something to get back into this game. Gregg brings down Stanley. Good sportsmanship between those two. Kyle Gregg looks like might be booked for that challenge. Another look. And it is confirmed. Vivify yellow card given to number 21 for Lou City, Kyle Gregg.
Yeah, and it's all hands on deck for Lou City. I think you've got George Davis playing right back, I believe. McMahon left back. So 3 of the back 4 have changed during the course of this game. Tosh being the one who's remained on there. But again, these guys know each other well. They know the system well. They know what's expected from Coach Danny Cruz. And I expect them to be able to see it out.
Mateus on the corner, won by Garuba. Atlanta United 2 trying to cut the deficit in half. It was stopped by Opano at the near post. Mateus again on the second try. Headed away, this time by Gibson. Vial trying to hound Masoso, who wins a free kick.
You see the versatility of a lot of their players, because you've got Matt Soso started off on the right wing, scored a goal. Now he's playing in central midfield. You Hopino going on the left. Now he's playing on the right. You know, you've seen Sharpie play in multiple positions across the back 4. Played left back tonight. McMahon usually a right back, playing left back. They're without guys like Jimenez and Gomez. It's really a deep squad with a lot of versatile players, a lot of talent, and again, a real good work ethic and good culture within their club.
A win for Lou City would keep them at the top of the Central Division standings on 26 points. It'd be their 8th victory in 13 games this season.
Yeah, one interesting thing that we'll see as the season goes on is that Lou City have played, I believe, 9 of their first 13 games this season at home. So that's unusual. You know, that's a lot of home games, and certainly there's been a lot going back to last season as well. So coming down the stretch here, they're going to have a lot more games away from home, which of course over the years they've done well away from home as well. But that'll be the test for them. I think that 10 of their last 14 games are away from home, so that'll be a little bit more difficult than being in your having your home comforts. I think all players, coaches prefer to be at home normally, and certainly if you've got Lynn Valley Stadium as your home, you would certainly want that. But that'll be the area they'll have to stay together, work hard on. But they've started the season really well and done excellent tonight.
McCabe nearly was able to scoop it past Fortune. Atlanta United 2 just trying to get it out of their own end at this point. Still only a 2-0 advantage for Lou City, but Atlanta United 2 running out of time, and frankly, Lou City have looked the more likely to add than Atlanta United 2 to get one back.
Yeah. Well done.
Ooh, Lou City could be in again here. Openo on the opposite side. Lovely cutback. He tries to find Greg, and it nearly squeezed in at the near post, but Novo, who has been really good tonight, 3 big saves now from him. It's out for a Vivify corner for Lou City with just under 5 minutes to play as Openo nearly squeezed it through.
Yeah, Openo made a great run in behind the fullback there. Lou City do this well where they find that split pass between the fullback and the centre back. The wide man runs inside. Didn't quite manage to get the ball into where Greg was, but again, Novo came up big with the save.
Lou City trying to shut the door on Atlanta United 2 tonight. McCabe takes. Good ball in for Greg! And Greg couldn't quite line it up right.
And that is something that Greg brings to the team and brings to the table. He's got that height, dangerous on set plays, dangerous on crosses. Helps the team defensively on set plays as well.
Gibson now, and it'll be brought back for a free kick for Lou City. 4 minutes to go. Both goals coming in the second half. We take a look now at tonight's Dr. Mark Lynn and Associates man of the match. Well, it had to be, right? Jimmy Mclaughlin scoring a magnificent second goal for Lou City, and he can laugh about it now. What a moment for him, his first of the season for Lou City, and they look to have the points wrapped up in a nice purple bag.
And not just the goal from Mclaughlin tonight, but early on in the game, he was the guy causing problems down the left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot, sometimes going out on his left. Couple dangerous balls, a lot of hard work, really good pressing from the front, and an excellent goal to wrap up the man of the match display, which I agree he well deserves.
Atlanta United 2, coach, moving forward. Obviously, they're still in the playoff picture as the season goes on, but it's a very tough division with a lot of good teams in it. There's going to be more issues as far as obviously players moving around that they'll have to deal with as the season goes on. Where do you see them? Obviously a lot of time to go, and they had that great start. Where do you see them as we move forward in this middle part of the season? Yeah,
unfortunately they're not on good form, and I think a big challenge they've got is that they had this long run of games at home recently. I think we said 9 out of their last 10, and they really didn't. I think they picked up 1 win in that run, and you really have to take care of your home games. You really have to find points in those games, and that's going to be something that they can't get back now. So they're going to have to get on the road and start to come up with a good way of playing. It tends to be they're going to continue to play the way that they play, but if they want to pick up points, they may sometimes need to be a little bit more pragmatic, and that's a balance which is difficult because they want to develop players, and ultimately that may be their biggest objective, which ultimately can help their first team.
Lou City still look like they want a third to finish this one off. Just under 2 minutes to go. Again, Mclaughlin scored the second of the 2 second-half goals. First one was scored in the 54th by Napo Masoso, his second of the season. The goals came within 9 minutes of each other. Since then, Atlanta United 2 have not really had much of a response in the second half, as Gonzalez is going to be booked on his backtracking efforts, much to his chagrin. As you see there, the yellow card brought to you by Vivify.
Yeah, a key moment in this game too, though, was when Louis City scored that second goal, Danny Cruz decided to put a couple defenders on to give fresh legs, to keep that high back line, to keep the pressure really high, rather than sitting back. Should have been a foul there, I think, but
it will be given there for McFadden, who ended up kicking the ball away as well.
Yeah, rightly frustrated there, because I think that it was a foul in the first place, and if if Gerald Flores isn't going to give the first one, then it's always very frustrating if he gives that second challenge as a foul, because they're both quite similar. Maybe got a touch on the ball, but he came through Stanley a little bit. That is a foul though, but I just think that when both happen so quickly, it does get players frustrated. And McFadden, I'm sure, frustrated with the way the game's going. Disappointed that he's not had too many chances himself tonight.
Another Vivify yellow card given there to Aiden McFadden. And like you said, Coach, we haven't seen a boatload from him tonight, as Gonzalez is brought down outside of the penalty area. See there, stoppage time presented by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Referees have added 4 minutes onto the end of the 90 minutes here.
And just to finish the thought I was having earlier, there was with Danny Cruz, when the second goal was scored, he could have dropped off. A lot of coaches would have. It's the end of it's the third game in a week. Let's just conserve energy and try and see the game out. But instead of doing that, kept the pressure high, stayed in Atlanta United 2's half, and really there's not been a shot on goal from Atlanta United 2, and there's barely been a chance. And a lot of that is credit to Danny Cruz and to his team for continuing to keep the energy up throughout the entire 90 minutes.
Niall McCabe lofts it in, headed out of there by Mertz. Atlanta United 2 can come out of it with Robbie Mertz. I think Danny Cruz would be thrilled if Louis City could get a clean sheet tonight. They have 3 minutes, though, still to see that out, as it's even back to the home side. McCabe ends up winning a throw-in.
Yeah, the other thing with Louis City tonight is, while they've been on the ball, which they've been on the ball a lot, they've kept a really good balance and structure to their team, so that when they have lost the ball, they've been in good position to win the ball back. They've not been too open. They've been able to snuff out any counter-attacks before they ever happened. So a lot of good things for them tonight, things they can be very pleased with, and things I'm sure they've been working on.
Gonzalez kept that alive. Antoine Openo tries to go for goal. I think it might have taken a deflection on the way through, and it will be a corner kick for Louis City as we wind this one down.
And for Jack Collison, he's got to be a bit frustrated with the energy perhaps his team were able to show tonight, especially coming in fresh, having a week to prepare. It's always difficult though, because for a second team, or for like Atlanta United 2, they probably don't have all the players working with them all week. They're not exactly sure who they're going to get, and there's a lot of challenges there that can make it difficult for a coach.
In comes the corner towards the back post. It was Feo who was able to get ahead to it. Openo beaten to it by Garuba. And it's out for a Louis City throw as they look to finish this off. Another throw in won by the first goal scorer, Napo Masoso. Back in the 54th minute, Kyle Gregg got the assist on that one. And the substitute, Zuahi, assisted that magnificent McLaughlin strike in the 63rd. Oh, wonderfully done here. And the cross in just got blocked at the vital moment. The substitute, George Davis, was on a rampant move there inside the penalty area. Atlanta United 2 on the attack. All they could get at this point is a consolation. This is McFadden. Fortune now touches it forward, and it's out for a Louis City throw, and that should just about do it. Atlanta United 2 will go back to the drawing board, trying to stop what's now going to be a 7-game winless run. Louis City continue to ascend in the Central Division as Gonzalez could be in here. This would be a great moment for him. He tries to find a teammate in Opino. And it was the right idea, but it's over his head and out of harm's way.
Yeah, that would have been the icing on the cake, but great win for Lou City tonight. Very comfortable, very commanding, very in control, and they'll be very pleased with what they've done.
That does it. Lou City win it by 2-0. 2 second-half goals. Masoso and McLaughlin. M&M get it done tonight for Louisville City, who continue their winning ways at home this season. It's a Mortensen Family Dental clean sheet as well, the first in just over a month for Lou City, and that's got to have interim coach Danny Cruz as happy as any part of the performance tonight. And we'll also take a look now at tonight's Toyota move of the game. Let's go places. Jimmy McLaughlin with a magnificent second goal, coach, to wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you rightly say, the net wasn't there. That ball would be all the way downtown Louisville. Fantastic hit from him, and nice to see him back in business. I think he'll start to find his form now over the next few weeks and months.
What a moment for him. Lou City, despite obviously losing Cameron Lancaster to a head injury, worth noting as well, they win it by 2-0. A fun game in the Central Division in the Eastern Conference of the USL Championship. Lou City win it by a pair of second-half goals to 0. We'll take a quick break, and we'll wrap things up next.
Enjoying the sunshine and fresh air can be hard for many of us. Advanced ENT and Allergy is the regional leader in upper airway care. From allergies, sinus problems, sleep apnea, hearing health, and more, our medical team treats everyone like family. Advanced ENT and Allergy offers same-day appointments, and for many, no referral is needed. Our outstanding team of physicians, along with state-of-the-art technology, can get you breathing right, sleeping well, and feeling better sooner. Go to advancedentandallergy.com for your appointment. 8 locations.
Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport is proud to welcome Breeze Airways with 3 nonstop flights to Charleston, Tampa, and New Orleans.
By the middle of the summer, we'll be in 15 cities, really desirable, cool cities like Charleston, Tampa, New Orleans, and with fares, get this, starting at only $39. Chances are we can get you there twice as fast for half the price. Welcome to Breeze, everybody. Come aboard.
Sean St. Jacques, the coach, Martin Rennie, back here with you, wrapping things up from Kentucky. Lou City win it by 2-0 over Atlanta United 2. Let's start things here by taking a look at the Good Hands save of the game, presented by Allstate. Frankly, not a ton for Chris Hubbard to deal with tonight. No shots on target for Atlanta United 2, but when he was called upon, he was able to lead his back line, and he made a nice little scooping gather there early in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, not much for him to do, as you rightly say. Good team defending, but also good possession and good balance within their team. So Lou City really didn't give up hardly any chances tonight, and those that they did give up were not on target.
Tonight's game summary brought to you by Dano's Seasoning. This was in the first half, an early chance for Niall McCabe.
Yeah, Novo maybe a little bit dangerous with the pass there, although he did well tonight, generally on the ball, and made a couple of good saves, but he gave that one away, and McCabe came through, gave it a good crack, but just over the bar.
37th minute. This was probably one of Atlanta United 2's few and far between, but probably one of their better moves of the game with Robbie Mertz.
Yeah, came back across. Sport June just couldn't quite get there. He helped to create that chance by overlapping Mertz in the first place, and then the ball comes back across goal, and he's there but can't quite capitalize on the chance.
41st minute in the first half. Lou City again able to create a chance with this time Lancaster.
Yeah, Tosh was causing a lot of problems with that ball to the back post, headed that one back across, but this was a key moment because Lancaster ends up colliding with Novo, gets that head knock and ends up having it go off, so hopefully he recovers quickly and that it's nothing too serious.
Lou City always looked the more likely coach to score. They finally broke through. It was great build-up play, and it fell for Napo Masoso.
Yeah, lovely pass by Kyle Gregg from an initial drive and run from Tyler Gibson, and Matt Soso came up with an excellent finish in the far corner.
Thought it'd be tough to outdo that, but Jimmy Mclaughlin tried and succeeded, coach, in the 63rd.
Yeah, fantastic strike. Brilliant power, brilliant direction. I thought he'd taken it just a little too far, but absolutely not.
Goal of the game, man of the match as well for that man, Jimmy Mclaughlin. CNR full-time stats, again, the biggest stat of the night. No shots on target for Atlanta United 2. And even despite Cameron Lancaster going down with the depth that this team has at its disposal, it always looked like Lou City were going to go on and win it, wasn't it, Coach?
Yeah, it was. And I think now with Kyle Gregg in their squad, that does give them a little bit more leeway where if Lancaster is out, then Kyle Gregg can step up. And he's a very talented player, has got a lot of experience at the USL Championship level, and was really important there tonight when he came on and set up that opening goal, which was really the key goal to create the win for Lou City tonight.
Still had a fun matchup. Atlanta United 2 played their part in the first half, but weren't able to keep it going in the second half. They'll go back to the drawing board moving forward. Lou City continue to hold the top spot in the Central Division. Great goals from Napo Masoso and as well as Jimmy Mclaughlin as well. A fun night, and Lou City come out with the win. For Martin Rennie and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques saying so long from Kentucky. Lou City win it by 2-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.